Hey, if you're raising a child with behavior disorder like ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, DMDD, IED, PDA, the list goes on and on. I absolutely feel for you. You're following all the advice in the parenting books. You're watching Instagram videos. You're doing everything that they're telling you to do, and yet you ended up with a child whose brain is missing some neural pathways. Now, over the next few minutes, I want to share with you what a neural pathway is so that you can take your power back as a mom or dad and you can authentically help your child not just survive in this world, but thrive. My name is Bonnie Liotta, and back in 2011, I was winning in every area of my life except for the area that was most important to me, my parenting life. I was failing my children badly, but I had no idea what to do. I was doing what you're doing, reading all the parenting books, watching all the videos, following authoritative parenting, which back in the late 1990s, we called it backbone parenting. Now we have attachment parenting, balanced, gentle, peaceful, conscious parenting. All of these titles that sound really sweet and caring, like connection over correction. But in the same sentence, you're taught to correct your child in the moment with some sort of negative discipline, consequence, or control-based parenting. But what we really need to do is get to the root of the problem. What started this in the first place? So number one, what is a neural pathway? When your baby was born, it was born with a personality, but zero neural pathways, zero idea of how the world works. They don't know how to hold a bottle, sit in a chair, walk, talk. They don't know how to do anything. They're counting on you, their big kid trusted advisor, to show them the way. But at some point in time, we have also been taught to redirect behavior. However, the child is looking for a life skill in that moment. So if you redirect from a candle, a hot burner on a stove, or a lighter, for instance, the first time that you're not in the room and they have an opportunity to touch that hot burner, well, guess what they're going to do? So redirection doesn't work to grow neural pathways. So I want you to think about this. When you were 15 and you wanted to drive a car, you knew you wanted to drive a car, but you didn't have the neural pathways in your brain to sit in the seat, put on your seatbelt, make sure all the mirrors were good, put on the brake, put it into gear, look in the mirrors, shoulder check, like all of these things. What did you need? Well, first of all, you needed to read a book to find out the rules. Then you needed to pass a test. And then for the next year, you needed to actually apply what you learned from the book with an experienced driver showing you exactly what to do. And after a massive amount of repetitions, you grew new neural pathways. Yes? So understand that when you're being told that your child is missing certain neural pathways in their brain when it comes to, say, ADHD, well, they're lacking the ability to focus and impulse control. Your children can develop neural pathways of focus and self-control with a massive amount of repetitions, conscious life skills training. Now, another thing that we've been taught to do is we've been taught to talk things through. Get on your child's eye level and explain to them why they can't have the candy at the store or have what's important to them. Maybe you didn't do your homework, so you don't get video game time. Now, as much as this makes sense for you as the big kid trusted advisor, aka adult, it makes no sense to the child. And when we lavish them with attention and give them everything for free, well, where's their goal? What's in it for them? What if we just turned things around and we said, I would love for you to have time on the video game as soon as your homework's done. Or I would love for you to have a scoop of ice cream as soon as you eat all of your dinner and the plate goes into the dishwasher. If your child's been diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder, well, they're having angry outbursts and we're being taught it's because there's something wrong with them. Now, if you ask your psychologist or therapist, what is the cause of oppositional defiant disorder? They really don't know. but they'll give you a medication and years worth of therapy thinking and believing that there is something internally wrong with the child. But I want you to understand this. Our babies aren't born like spiders with web making 101. They need to learn everything from how to hold a fork, how to hold a bottle, how to walk, how to talk. They also need to develop the neural pathways of self-control, self-discipline, focus, and responsibility, along with 100 other virtues and characteristics that we would like them to have. But if we never take the time to practice and role play with them, what to do with their anger, where they can scream, what they can hit, where they can jump, where they can run, and we're constantly just telling them, no, we don't run in the house. No, we don't jump on the couch. Stop it. I told you 1,000 times not to do that. They're going to be left like a computer. You know, when you click a button and it spins and spins and spins, or it doesn't really understand what's going on, that's going to be your child. And after years and years of missing the transition to pass on these life skills, of missing the knowledge that neural pathways can be developed and created no matter what the age of a child or adult really, then we're going to actually believe something's wrong with our child. And the worst thing possible is that your child is going to grow up believing something's wrong with them. They're going to grow up believing, I just can't control my anger. My brain's broken. I'm not like everybody else. I don't fit in. I must be stupid. And this is the most horrific thing that we could ever do. Now, when I started to look at my parenting, as I looked at my business and my career, and I started asking questions like, what is my role as a parent? What would happen to my children if I ceased to exist today? What are 5 things that I'm asking my children to do that I have not taken the time to consciously show them step by step how to do to my standards? And I began to put a parent-approved plan together so that my children knew exactly what the meltdown was going to earn them. They knew exactly what practicing self-control would earn them. You see, we've been so busy being taught about offering negative consequences, we're forgetting the positive consequences for actually following rules, the positive consequences for taking on responsibility and doing what they should be doing, all without being asked.
Came home from work today. Good job, Clayton.
And the best part is when our clients go through a 90-day transformative mentorship program that by the end, their child sweeps half the floor. They come to mom, I did my job. Mom goes and checks and says, excellent, you've earned 15 minutes of video game time. And then the teenager does what? Oh, but I want more time. I would love for you to have more time. Let me show you exactly what to do so you can have all of the time that we talked about earlier today. And then you can show them the task at hand. They will be internally motivated to learn that task, to practice self-control, to practice the life skill of focus, and whatever other skills that you deem important. Now, no 2 family plans are going to be exactly alike, because you know what's important to you and you know what you're dealing with your child. Even if your child does have some sort of behavior disorder or mental health issue, until now, there really hasn't been any positive solutions. We had a client come to us, her name's Rachel. Her son Clayton had been on heavy medication since the age of 5. He was now 14, in and out of jail 9 times, going to an alternative school, going to therapy. She had tried everything that the psychologist, the therapist, the teachers were telling her to do, and nothing was working. He was just becoming more and more like a criminal. She came to us, did the 90-day parenting challenge for change, and completely transformed her life. And she'll tell you right now, my son doesn't have ADHD, ODD, DMDD, and all of the things that I was told about him. He is a happy, healthy, thriving, going to school, keeping the house clean, going to friend's house, and the friend's parents are going, he's such a pleasure to have around. He has responsibility. He puts his stuff away. He cleans up. He helps us out with our chores. And it's just absolutely amazing when you see these children that society has given up on rise up into their champion selves. Now, last week I did a video on how to create a proactive parenting plan. And if you'd like to watch it, you can just click right over here. I'm Bonnie Liotta, and until we meet again, here's to your parenting success. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.